Hey guys, I'm back again and I'm here with my recap of my Read So Lit photo challenge, which is going on over on IG. So today we're going to do day 21 to 28. So let's get started. Day 21, the prompt was thankful. So what I decided to do, I'm going to put the picture here. I decided to do like a little montage of some pictures of, things that I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for the BookTube community, the Bookstagram community. I'm grateful for all the great books that I read. I'm grateful for starting Read So Lit as well. I'm grateful that it's Black History Month, so that's what I'm grateful for. And I, tried to globalize all this in this picture. Okay, next we have day 22, which is shoe game. So with the shoe game, I came up with, of course, some of my favorite shoes, which are, black boots. They go with a little bit of everything. But the most important thing is the book that I chose to go in my pair of shoes. And the book I chose was this one right here, which is called The Word. Black Writers Talk About the Transformative Power of Reading and Writing by Marita Golden. So Marita Golden is the editor for this anthology, and it contains essays from Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, Faith Adiel, Pearl Cleage, J. California Cooper, Ellis Coase, Edwige Dontica, John Hope Franklin, Nikki Giovanni, Will Haygood, Matt Johnson, Edward P. Jones, David Levering Lewis, Nathan McCall. I highly recommend reading this very short anthology. There's some really great thoughts on reading and writing, and just really, I feel like it's the kind of book you should read if you're trying to write, and if you're reading for real understanding of reading and what reading is all about. Highly recommend this one. It's really good, and it's a short one. Okay, the next one is day 23, and day 23 was lunch, and here you have it right here. Now, the book I chose for that is Tell Me How Long the Train's Been Gone by James Baldwin. So this is one that I've had hanging around for quite some time that I have not yet read. And I'm kind of leaning towards wanting to try to read that one this year at some point, because it has been just that long that it's been on my shelves. So this book, it says, in the magnificently passionate, angry, and tender novel, James Baldwin created one of his most striking characters, a man struggling to become himself, even as he juggles multiple identities as Black man, bisexual, and artist, on the mercilessly floodlit stage of American public life. At the height of his theatrical career, the actor Leo Proudhammer is nearly felled by a heart attack. As he hovers between life and death, Baldwin shows the choices that have made him enviably famous and terrifyingly vulnerable. So this one, I feel like this one is going to be extremely emotional, but I think it's going to be a well worth the read. Okay, the next prompt for day 24 was Wishlist. And for this one, I decided to keep it simple and focus on two books that I absolutely want to read this year. And the first one is 54 Miles by Leonard Pitts Jr. And this is the sequel to The Last Thing You Surrender. And I'm going to read a little bit what it says. It says, the freestanding successor and next novel by the author of the critically acclaimed The Last Thing You Surrender, Leonard Pitts Jr.'s 54 Miles launches forward 20 years to the fateful weeks of March 1965, from the infamous Bloody Sunday March at the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma on the 7th, to the triumphant entry into Montgomery on the 25th that climaxed the voting rights campaign. and the families who find themselves confronting the past amid another flashpoint in American history. Young Adam, who has been raised in Harlem by his white father George and black mother Thelma, goes back to his parents' home state of Alabama to participate in the voting rights campaign, only to be brutalized in the Bloody Sunday melee. He is still recovering from this when he is struck a heavy emotional blow, learning for the first time and in the cruelest way imaginable of a family secret that sends him spiraling and plunging further into danger. So yeah, this one I think is gonna be very, very good. I say if you have not read The Last Thing You Surrender yet, I don't know what you're waiting for, but this is the moment to get to it and read it so you can learn more about who these characters are, Thelma and George. You need to read that. You need to read that first, I think, before reading 54 Miles. So the next book that I put on my wish list was James by Percival Everett. Now, this one, I've had this one flagged since last year. So I pre-ordered this. I'm just waiting for my copy to show up. I think this is coming out next month in March. I think mid-March, if I'm not mistaken. So look for it there. So it says, a brilliant action-packed reimagining of the Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, both harrowing and ferociously funny, told from the enslaved Jim's point of view, when the enslaved Jim overhears that he is about to be sold to a man in New Orleans. Separated from his wife and daughter forever, he decided to hide on nearby Jackson Island until he can formulate a plan. Meanwhile, Huck Finn has faked his own death to escape his violent father, recently returned to town. As all readers of American literature know, thus begins the dangerous and transcendent journey by raft down the Mississippi River toward the elusive and too often unreliable promise of the Free State and beyond. While many narrative set pieces of the Adventures of Huckleberry Finn remain in place, floods and storms stumbling across both unexpected death and unexpected treasure in the myriad stopping points along the river's banks, encountering the scam artist posing as the Duke and Dauphine. Jim's agency, intelligence, and compassion are shown in a radically new light, brimming with electrifying humor and lacerating observations. James is destined to be a major publishing event and a cornerstone of 21st century American literature. I think this is going to be one hell of a satire. I know this one's going to be good. I'm not even going to hesitate about that one. So next we had day 25, and day 25 was pop culture. So the thing that came to my mind that I have on my shelves that exudes pop culture is this one right here, which is called Black Futures. I'm going to put a little video of me flipping through really quickly through Black Futures. That's the video that I did for the post. And this book contains everything, all kinds of things. It has different topics on everything that's going on at the moment. It's a beautiful book, a very, very big chunky book, but it's a perfect coffee table book. It says an archive of collective memory and exuberant testimony, a luminous map to navigate an opaque and disorientating present, an infinite geography of possible futures. That's what's written on the back. And it's just amazing. It's got a lot of credits in the back. There's also a whole bibliography with the names of important people that are in here. You have everything from paintings, photography, hair care, through the barbershops. You also have, look at that, more paintings. Also have, you have a little bit on sports. Also have, about Black Lives Matter and protesting. It's a wealth of information on Black life and Black futures. So I highly recommend that, especially if you're looking for a gift to give someone. This would be a great gift. This one was gifted to me by my friend Latrice Jersey Farm over on Bookstagram. Thank you, girl, for gifting this to me. I really, really appreciate it. Okay, next we have day 26. Day 26 was 6 p.m. vibes. So for me, my 6 p.m. vibes, I put in a video of me editing some content for YouTube, because that's what I was actually really doing on the 26th at 6 p.m. I was editing a video. So yeah, it was very interesting to see a lot of different 6 p.m. vibes. There were interesting books. There were interesting pictures of people just doing various different things. Very, very cool way of, doing a kind of a light off the cuff kind of prompt. And I think people enjoyed having that prompt that was kind of open. They could really photograph just about anything. Okay, next we have day 27, and day 27 was life. So I spotlighted this book right here, which is called The Cooking Gene by Michael W. Twitty. And I read this book quite a long while ago when it came out. I can't remember exactly when this book came out. It came out 2017. And this is Michael Twitty on the front. And he writes this book. It's kind of like part memoir, part exploration of Southern cooking, all the way from slavery days to now. And what he does is he does a reenactment. So he goes and he tries to cook these meals that were possibly cooked during slavery. And he cooks them with the same utensils that slaves would have cooked the meals. And he's basically showing how a lot of Southern food, it comes from slaves cooking the food. And now I remember this book being a little slow. And there was a part in the book, I think there might have been 50 some odd pages on corn. I learned so much about corn in this book. If I remember correct, it was corn. I couldn't believe how much he'd written on corn alone. I think it's a really interesting book that if you're trying to build a book with important books from Black American writers, this book has to be in there, because he is the one who has been the cornerstone researcher around Southern cooking and its cooking and slavery and its influence on Southern cooking. This is the man. He's the one that's done the majority of the research, and he's actually physically done the cooking. Interesting book. He also talks about being Jewish and going back and learning more about that. It's just a very interesting kind of memoir, food, kind of book. And I feel like it's one that you should have in your library. It's not a fast read. It is slow in some places, but like I said, there was 50 pages on corn. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna learn about this corn now. So yeah, this one is something you might want to try to pick up and learn more about Southern cooking. Okay, next we have day 28. And day 28 was must read or must reads if you have more than one. And I had more than one. So I did a reel for this one, and I spotlighted in that reel Homemade Love by J. California Cooper. This is an excellent, fun short story collection. Different stories about love and love that comes in different shapes and forms. I mean, we read it in my Read So Lit book club this month of February, and we had so much fun discussing it. We did a lot of laughing, a lot of head shaking. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just a fun read, but very, very interesting. J. California Cooper, if you don't know who she is, you need to go and pick this book up, and you'll know who she is, and then you'll want to read more of her stuff. Okay, the next book I picked up was this one right here. It's Cora Jadora by Gail Jones. This is another must-read book. Okay, Gail Jones from Kentucky, Black Appalachia. Here we come. This is the magnum opus of Gail Jones. This is the book. This is the Gail Jones book. This one was also edited by Toni Morrison. And it is a fantastic read, but you gotta get your mind right. Cause this ain't no joke, this one. You gotta get your mind right. So just to give you a little overall, it says, here is Gail Jones's classic novel, the tale of blues singer Ursa, consumed by her hatred of the 19th century slave master who fathered both her grandmother and mother. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say, because you need to read the book, and you'll get more in it. But it's a short one, but boy, is it a whopper. Gotta get your mind right, but very, very good. Excellent book. The next book I want to spotlight is this one right here, which is called The Essential Gwendolyn Brooks. I highly recommend this one. I love, 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 love this book. It's tiny. It's the same size as my hand. I love this book. This is a collection of Gwendolyn Brooks's essential poems. All of the ones that you know her for. We Real Cool, Paul Robeson, the Bronzeville poems. All of those are in here. So this is one that I read it. I think I read it a while ago, like maybe in 2014 or 15. But I read it quite regularly. At least every other month I'm looking at it on the shelf, and I'm picking it up, and I open it up and I read a few poems, because it's just that kind of book. This is one that you could give as a gift, but also that you could just get for your collection. And if you like poetry, you're going to love, love, love Gwendolyn Brooks' poems. They're very easy to relate to, very easy to understand. And she was brilliant with putting them together with the rhyme and the rhythm. And she's known as putting together a different kind of rhythm for some of her poems. Highly recommended. This one, this is a must read, must have. Okay. And last but not least, I put this one, Crystal Wilkinson's Water Street. Of course, Crystal Wilkinson, another Black Appalachian from Kentucky. This is a book that I picked up years ago, and I absolutely adore this book. It's just so, so, so good. It says, Water Street examines the secret lives of neighbors and friends who live on Water Street in a small town in Kentucky. Love and truth and tragedy are revealed under Wilkinson's sure hand. This is a superb, cohesive work which marks Ms. Wilkinson's evolution as a gifted observer and writer. And look at Crystal back in the day with her braids. So yeah, I highly recommend this one. If you have not read it, this is one not to be missed. It's not very long, but it's very powerful and very well written and very, very memorable. So those were the 4 that I proposed for must read. So that is the end of this video. Look out for the last video, which is day 29, which is actually today. But day 29 is Read So Lit wrap up. So I will be doing my wrap up video within the first week of the month of March. So thank you all for taking the time to watch this video. I really appreciate it. Thanks to everybody who has participated in Read So Lit. whether you've mentioned it here on YouTube on your channel, or whether you participated in the photo challenge over on IG, or mentioned it on your IG or on your blogs or wherever. I thank you. I thank you. I really, really appreciate it. Read till it doesn't stop, because, is no longer Black History Month tomorrow. I continue to read books by Black authors, and I'm sure you all who follow me will do the same. So, with that being said, I will see you very soon with another video. Have a great day. Bye.